You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are
Rope
Road
Break.
Break Family, and it's Friday. And are you ready for
Some bullshit.
So, it is time because it was a big load this time. Not a really great show. We have new WWE Tag Team Women Champions in Sasha Banks and Bayley. But before we do that, we're going to go over all the show. But Jean-Paul is extremely happy. I'm not because, my God has lost the title. But it's okay. I can get over it. So, family, thank you so very much for watching every single one of the videos. As you could see, it's been a busy day for us because we had a lot of catching up to do. We have NXT review is up, AEW Dynamite is up, and right now, Smackdown Live also is up. Or we're going to start recording it, but Jean-Paul, your thoughts on this show?
Yeah, I mean, the show started off better than I think it ended. I even forgot what the main event was. Going into it, I'm like, what is even the main event? Oh, it's the women's tag team match. And I'm like, oh, okay. I like the winner of the match, and it actually wasn't a bad match. 3 of those 4 women are legit wrestlers, and I mean Alexa Bliss, she does the same thing in every match, and she does it pretty decent. So there's no point in complaining about that. And but I like to me the only thing that of importance was still just everything with the IC title and with Jeff Hardy. We saw the Miz and Morrison, but they look more just loser losers, goofy, goofy childish heels. They didn't come off in a legit manner. They're in a 2-on-1 handicap match for the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship. So you think that they should actually be planning that out instead of just playing pranks on Braun Strowman. So, like you said, it was definitely a big load tonight.
Oh yeah, it was. So thank you again, family, for all the support and love that you give us. We're going to start from the beginning, like Jean-Paul was saying. Jeff Hardy comes out, he starts the show, and we get a recap on what happened last week, the accident with Jeff Hardy and all of that.
So Elias is done for months. So I wonder where he actually hurt himself. What match it was in.
I don't know, but
because clearly
people really miss Elias.
No, but clearly this storyline was written to cover an injury, or he had some kind of surgery. I know Jinder Mahal, he screwed something up in his leg.
And then screwed something
so
back.
Jinder Mahal is done. So there's no fear of the modern day Maharaja beating Drew McIntyre, but this seems like the same thing. So we're not going to see no Elias, drift away or cheap imitation of the elbow.
At least that thing that's really good. So Hardy thanked the WWE Universe for giving him a chance to get this off his chest. He said that the last week was chaos, and Elias luckily walked away with serious injuries that could have been a lot worse. But then Hardy proceeded to tell us that his side of the story, and then pretty much he says, who's the one to blame? Is a guy with red hair and red beard. So you got to see Sheamus.
Yeah, so
pretty much that's all it was. And then Sheamus comes out. Sheamus comes out and he says, "You know what? I was helping you out because all your shortcomings or your shenanigans,
and he's like, all your fans, they're all enablers and this and that." And it was clearly what we predicted. We said they're not going to make you're not going to do these video packages for Jeff Hardy, make him appear legit, and then turn him right back into a drunk. Clearly. He was framed. He was set up. That's what Jeff Hardy said. Of course, Sheamus is going to say the opposite. And, it's good because it keeps the feud going. That's what we wanted. And I feel like WWE, they kind of booked it in a bullshit way, having them meet in the IC tournament. And then it was oh, man, we kind of should keep this feud going. That was kind of and this is a way to do it. And, I don't mind it because it was a really emotional promo from Jeff Hardy. He said his family, he's like, how can I talk to my kids and my wife? I told them I'm sober and all this, and then I'm portrayed like this on television. How can I face them? So it's legit stuff.
It was pretty honest, so it was pretty good. Pretty much Sheamus says you're not a man, you're just a junkie. And then Jeff Hardy, that was the last straw, so he went up to him and they start brawling. He avoided the first bro kick, but then the other one connected, and then he just pretty much was banging Jeff Hardy with the glass that it was right there separating the NXT guys
on the plexiglass,
yeah, and the plexiglass. So that was pretty much. And then Sheamus always all happy and standing tall. And then we got confirmation that Sheamus is going to be facing Jeff Hardy at Backlash. So another match was added. Then we got Otis and Mandy were shown backstage, and then they run into like King Corbin's like the crown. So it's like, oh, Peach, let me try it on. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gets it, and then Baron Corbin is like, what the hell is my crown? And he's like, oh, Otis got it. What? So like they had a match. And the match turned out
the one thing I just want to say real quick is I love when Corbin is like, what the hell? Why didn't you stop him? He took my crown. Corbin walks off screen. Immediately, Michael Cole, he goes, Baron Corbin versus Otis next. Like, why would you say that this is an announced match when, like, did you know that he was going to steal the crown? I mean, obviously it's a pre-written show, but if you're looking at it from the sense of it being real, it's like, how would you know that this was going to be a match? Like, he could have stole the crown and he could have left the building. Like, how do you know he's in the ring?
You know, Jean-Paul, that, like, the show's not being even live makes it even harder to watch. You know, because, like, the stuff, it doesn't even look real anymore. So that's why, like, they have this match. And pretty much, like, the upper hand was, like, for, like, Otis most of the match. But then Baron Corbin, he goes and, like, he grabs a steel chair. And also he starts attacking Otis with it. You know, and that goes the disqualification. But then Otis actually, instead of selling the chair shots, then he actually rebounds, and then he starts beating Baron Corbin.
Yeah,
and he actually gets the caterpillar. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay.
So is Baron Corbin buried, or is this just? I feel like this is just another day of work for Baron Corbin.
No, yeah. He'll never be buried.
Once you get dog food dumped on you, you can't get any lower. The only way to get lower would be actual shit.
Oh yeah.
On you. That's the only way.
Oh yeah.
Dog food looks right like it. It just smells a little better, just a little bit.
Oh yeah, but like it's, you know, like Baron Corbin is like, he made a career of like looking like an idiot. So that's, you know, he keeps doing that. And we always say, you know, it's not that we hate the guy. We don't. It's just the way that he's portrayed on TV is absolutely disgusting. So, you know, Jean-Paul, we get Miz and Morrison, a tag team that started out legit, that started out like good, but not anymore. And then, you know, they were in a band watching on like television, like monitors, and then Braun Strowman arrived at the building, and they were watching him, and then they go like, sweet car, bro. And then pretty much like they like pretty much pranking him. They just like started to prank him. And the first prank that they had is like they put something on his protein shake, right? They put, like, soda or something, so it makes all bubbly. So,
yeah,
like,
so when he put it in, it was, they switched it out. It was like baking soda or something. So then it just fizzed up. And they're, like I said, it's like high school, or not even high school, because high schoolers do more extreme stuff. They were like middle school pranks. It was like babyish.
Oh yeah, it was like you said, like that's when you see like how WWE is like targeting like the PG-13, you know, the 7-8 years old that they love this kind of stuff, because I was not happy to see that. I'm like, why is this a factor for a WWE Universal Championship match?
Like I said, they should be jumping him and beating him up, so then he's going injured into the handicap match.
Yes. Exactly. So we're talking about injury. We get Shorty G, and he's about to cut an interview with Kayla Braxton, but then out of nowhere, Mojo Riley. He was suddenly, you know, Mojo like was suddenly there, and then he sees like, you know, he's talking about like how like Gronkowski rode the 24/7 title, but you know he's out of the WWE, and now he has 2 lackeys, and his 2 new lackeys are Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. How do we justify that?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say that they're his lackeys. I would just say that it's like, you know, WWE, they don't think Nakamura can get over. They've proven that they don't think Cesaro can get over. Mojo Rawley's the same thing. The dude's, he can yell and scream and be all exciting as he wants to be. He can't get over. Oh, no. It's impossible for Mojo Rawley to get over. It's
just bad.
So terrible. They just take all these guys who they think can't get over, and they just put them in a group. And it's like, just terrible,
and you know, we don't understand why they do this kind of things, and and they pretty much set up, of course, a match later on, and that was going to be the New Day and Shorty G against Cesaro Nakamura and Mojo Riley.
And all Mojo Rawley was doing was it was like the obnoxious short jokes, and it's like, okay, that is such a beaten concept, especially with like Chad Gable. We just heard it in his last major feud with Sheamus. Sheamus is like, oh, you know, I'm one of the giants. SmackDown used to be the land of the giants. You're short. Okay, then Chad Gable went away. Now he's back on TV, and it's the same thing.
It's the same thing, so they don't find anything else, anything better to do for, you know, Shorty G, so that sucks. And also now we get Lacey Evans against Sonya Deville. It was a good match for, like you said, Sonya looked really, really great. I don't understand what happened with the referee. I don't know what was that necessary.
Yeah, I to be honest, I was watching it, I'm like, it's like, okay, Sonya, like she looked really legit. Lacey Evans, I'm a fan of her work. The gimmick and the character is like, I don't hate it, but I'm not in love with it. But in ring, I think she's really good. Like, I love that moonsault she does. But I looked away and then I look back and I just see the ref, dude. He's like when he blew out both his quads. The ref is just sitting there and he's like, it's done. He's like,
I need
done.
help. I need help. And they went on commercial break, so we don't know.
So that had to be a shoot injury. I don't think that was like a storyline thing because nothing came from it. So he probably like legit tore something in his leg.
Yeah, so he probably because like Sonya, I think they fell on his knees and stuff. So like that's what they did. But like then he was replaced by another referee, and then the match continued, and it was a really great match. But then while Sonya is dominating, then Mandy shows up and the Titantron, and she's like, "Oh, you think that you're a fighter, but you're a nobody, you're a failure." And of course, Sonya falls into like the stupid like syndrome, and then she starts paying attention to Mandy. And then what happens from the back? Lacey hits. She hits what?
The women's right, 1, 2, 3, and done. And
done.
one thing I will say though, I like when Lacey Evans, when she pins, at least here, she pinned where she hooked the leg like Goldberg.
Oh yeah,
I'm like that's a legit pin. That's like the legit cover.
Yeah, she did that, and it was like pretty good. And like I see, Lacey, at least she keeps getting more wins. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, both these two women, I'd love to see in the main event because it's as much as I love like Bayley, Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte to a certain extent as well. It's like, but this is fresh new faces.
Oh yeah.
And then somebody besides that and like Alexa Bliss, we've seen all them be the champions. Let's see these new faces.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so that's hopefully that's what we get. So then we get another thing with jokes with Braun Strowman because he's talking to Kayla Braxton and he's saying, well, they're pranking me. They promised that they were gonna make my life a living hell. So and then out of nowhere, out of the sky, like
it was like Nickelodeon. I don't know if you watched that back in the day, and they had it. They'd always dump the goo, like it's like the green goo.
Yes, the green.
They had it supposed to be on Strowman. And then they hit Kayla, and they're all like in the truck, like they're all like scared.
And they're like, "Oh, I said put it on the one on the left side."
Yeah,
like, you said stage right, and supposed to be left because it's always backwards. And he's like, but then Strowman kind of went to Kayla to make sure that she's okay. He's like, "Are you okay?" So he got a little bit of the goo, and he's like, "Oh, we did a great job. Yeah, good." So like,
but I love how Kayla was like pissed. She's like, those bastards. Like, she was all pissed, and I was like, the one thing I wish in the show is that she would have caught up to Miz and Morrison and like kicked him in the dick or something. Like, I think that would have been funny. Like, if
that
she
would have been even nice because then you're involving everybody that is getting in the middle of all this situation. So that was like you said, another prank. Like you said, we're like adults. We like to watch a little bit different stuff. If he would have been Jump, I would have been fine. But we got to remember that SmackDown is written for kids. So kids appreciate this while we don't.
Yeah, kids, you better love the shit out of this. You guys better have been freaking out going like, this is the best thing ever. Because if you weren't, then
unfortunately we don't feel that way.
Through it. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So we get AJ Styles face to face with Daniel Bryan. See, this was a really good promo just because Daniel Bryan pretty much had a moment of Cody. Because pretty much he was saying that he's going to defend.
But could you say that he had a moment of John Cena? Because maybe Cody copied John Cena because because it's everybody copying everybody.
Yes.
People can't use just an open challenge concept.
He pretty much channel like his inner John Cena, his inner Cody. He was saying that if he wins the IC belt, he's going to defend the title against everybody and anybody just because he wants like uppercomers, legend, just because he wants to get better.
And that's the thing with Daniel Bryan though. That we've been saying since he came back from SmackDown, like Mustafa Ali, when he got the push before he got injured, before Kofi Mania took off, that was all Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was the one who said, put this guy on TV. All these guys who Daniel Bryan was working with, like Buddy Murphy early on, that was all him. So he wants to, work with these guys and get them over. And he has creative control with his contract as well. So that's all really cool stuff, and I hope he wins it. But in the same breath, I want my boy AJ to win more.
Oh yeah, that's true. So AJ was actually counter-attacking everything that Daniel Bryan said because he's like, you're kind of stupid for thinking that way. I'm just gonna be selective when it comes to my title defenses, and also I took the bye because I want to be fresh for our match. So pretty much he says, well, and also I don't know why you became or Jugu became your coach. He sucks, and he got a handout, so that's why he got his contract back. And because in the spirit of handouts, I'm going to give him a match tonight. So, like, Drew Gulak came back, and they had a really good match. I really enjoyed it. It was a pretty great.
It was good. It was short, but that was fine. You know, it was just a TV match. It was whatever. It wasn't to really set anything up, just kind of continue on the feud with him and Daniel Bryan. But it's funny how these guys are supposed to be like feuding, but then they're going to be like together at some like either baseball game or a race thing, and it's like, oh, okay, so they're going to be like like too sweet, bro. But then a week later they're going to be like at each other's throats. So.
Yes. So like and that's how WWE already ruins a little bit of the kayfabe, right? You're like, okay, they hate each other. They don't want to be around each other. No, they're going to be captains on the NASCAR thing. So Jean-Paul, the Drew Gulak got the win. So that was really cool. He ends up rolling AJ Styles. AJ cannot believe it. We cannot believe it. Gulak cannot believe it. There you go, Jean-Paul. So then we go and see The Miz and Morrison because they're in the parking lot. And now they're destroying Braun Strowman's car. The Miz has been practicing his golf skills. Boom. And then, John Morrison has been practicing his softball skills because supposedly Braun Strowman's dad is in the Hall of Fame, in the softball Hall of Fame. And we don't know if that's true or false.
I don't
think destroying his car.
But the one thing I was hoping with this segment, because it pretty much was just like, oh, okay, they destroyed this car, whatever. And it ended up being Strowman's car and he got pissed. And then, the segment continues later on. Yes. I was hoping that it was the wrong car and that maybe Kayla Braxton also drove the same car as Braun Strowman. Like I was hoping that would have just continued, and then
that would have been funny. And see, at least you can find a way to make it look appealing for us.
Yeah, so because the kids still would have laughed because things would get destroyed, adults would be screaming, so kids would still laugh. But it's like, okay, she comes out completely covered in goo. She's like, oh, thank God I have a change of clothes in my car. And then the car is completely destroyed. She's like, are you kidding me? Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But
none of that happened. So of course,
I don't know how I can think of that in literally off the top of my head. And then all these 32 riders are like, so
they don't know what to ride, or they only use the idea of one rider that we will not make.
Or maybe they did propose that and then they heard no chance.
Yeah, pretty much. So now we go jump all to New Day, Shorty G against Mojo Riley, Shinsuke Nakamura, Antonio Cesaro. What's there to carry here?
Was this Back to the Future?
What's there to carrying here? So, a pretty, I would say, watchable,
I mean, it was good. 5 of these 6 guys in the match are phenomenal wrestlers. One of them is a hyped up meathead who shouldn't be in a wrestling ring, but, hey, he's here. I would say he's worse than Shawn Spears with getting over.
It is true.
Mojo Rawley is the king of failed gimmicks, and Shawn Spears is like the prince. He's right there with him.
They should have a tag, and it should be they never made it.
Yeah, but like you said, the match, it was okay, the guys are good that are in it, but do we care? Does it mean anything?
Nope.
Maybe there would have been some kind of intrigue if the heels would have won. Mojo Rawley eats the pin though, so it's okay, heels lose. They're still losers.
Exactly. And and Shorty G and then the New Day, they win. They got a double team finisher, and that's all it was. Of course, the New Day, they're the tag champs. They got to make him look good. That's what it was. Then we got a little bit of a promo of Matt Riddle. They're still hyping him up. The bro is going to be soon coming to SmackDown. So Jean-Paul, then we get another. Then Braun Strowman finally comes out, and he finds what they did to his car. So gets absolutely pissed. He's looking for them, and then he finds them in
I love. Yeah, there's a guy outside. He's like, "Where the hell are they?" And he's like, "They're in the van." And then the Miz and Morrison, they're like, "That guy freaking stooged on us. He took on us." And it's like, and they don't have the keys, so they're just sitting in this van and they not moving, no keys, and it's like. First of all, I mean, Strowman's pretty dumb, but you're in a big surveillance van. I'm pretty sure, just wide open in the middle of the parking lot. I'm sure he would have found you anyway.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I mean. And, that's the kind of stuff that I was wondering. And then, of course, Strowman uses his strength like he used to do back in the day when he will be first portray. And, of course, he flipped the car and then he was just flipping him out. And then Miz and Morrison are like, oh, it's done. And then they pretend that there's nothing.
Yep.
They're pretty much
one
done.
Thing I will give credit to WWE is Strowman. When he came out, he was okay, he looked like normal, whatever. When they had it that he pushed it over and they cut to him, he was all red and he was sweaty. So I liked it. They made it.
At least they made it semi, credible. Yeah. Then that's fine. Okay. So now Jean-Paul, pretty much main event time. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defending against Bayley and Sasha Banks. This was a good match. Like you
Mhm.
said, Alexa Bliss did all her stuff because, again, limited in the ring.
The only thing I like the signature. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's her signature when she does like the knees and then like flips back, whatever.
Yes.
Like, I don't just hit the knees. Like, just hit them. Just like hit them. You know what I mean?
Doesn't know how to hit that. Nope.
They like, I swear they don't even make contact with the opponent. Like, just
the second one does. The first one doesn't. The
I'm like,
second one does a little bit.
Like, it's a legit move. Like, if Kenny Omega or somebody would do that move,
it would be legit.
But it's like,
the goddess, and then of course Nikki Cross had to like do most of the work. The goddess, of course, he does like the, all that.
And then
all
Juan's
that
like,
and I was like, wee! But like, I'm thinking they're gonna win. But in the end, actually, Bayley and Sasha Banks get the win. They did like a roll up. Is that what it was? Right? Yeah, it was because it was a combination.
Because at the end of the thing, Sasha, she had her in the bank statement, but Bayley tagged herself in. So the ref's like 1, 2, 3, and then Bayley comes in and she like throws Sasha Banks off and puts her in the bank statement herself. And she's like, Sasha, get the hell out of the ring. Sasha's like, what the, like, huh? And then of course Michael Cole, being an idiot, is like, oh my God, what's Bayley doing? And then Corey Graves, who actually sometimes has some sense, he's like, she made the tag. She's the legal woman. She doesn't want to get counted out. But Michael Cole's just, of course, got to sell the diversion angle between the two of them. And then like they made the tags back in, and I think she had the bank statement, but then Nikki Cross was going for the neck breaker, and then it was like the roll up, and then she got the crucifix. 1, 2, 3. Bayley prevented Alexa from breaking it up,
and we have new tag team women's champions. We said this last week. We said that like the main feud was for Bayley going against Sasha Banks. There's supposed to be the blow up was going to be during Summerslam week. SummerSlam is going to take place, like most likely, again with no crowd. So that's why they were holding that feud yet. They were holding it because they want, at least if it happens in Boston, they wanted the big pop, like baby face pop for Sasha. They want to make this really like great storyline, like it deserves to be. So like I remember clearly, you and me said, watch out because we might get new tag team women's champions. What happened? That's what we got. Because, we know WWE, how they operate, and I don't know what's going to happen with the storyline with the Iconics now.
Yeah, that's the only thing I want to say that I don't like about this match. I like the new champions, okay, Nikki Cross comes out, the accents on her vest match Alexa Bliss's colors, so I'm like, okay, they look like a tag team. I just wish they had a theme, so I'm like, okay, like legit stuff, but they're getting there like a tag team, and I respect them for that. But I wish the Iconics would have came down in this thing to cause the screw up, because you just have Bayley and Sasha win clean, like you said. So now what do the Iconics do? I feel like the Iconics are probably just going to call out Bayley and Sasha. They'll be like, "We beat you at WrestleMania," and then it'll be like, and then that's how the feud will start.
I know.
Instead, they could have caused Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They could have came down, interfered. But see if they did that.
I rather that your idea, because that idea, you said it on Monday Night Raw review. I would have much rather see that.
Yeah, but I feel like if they did that, then it would have been a DQ. The ref ding 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 would have rung the bell. Then we would have saw like a triple threat. And WWE main roster doesn't know how to book triple threat tag team matches. They have one team completely standing on the outside like an idiot when it should just be 3 people in the ring at once. But we got new tag champs, so like you said, they're all in on the Bayley and Sasha storyline, and that's what I've wanted for years. So I'm not going to complain about that.
Oh yeah, well it was what it was. Probably they're going to have either a title match at the Backlash. They're going to have either they're going to hold it for like 2 or 3 Smackdowns, because of course they're going to invoke the rematch because they go for it by those rules now. So we will see what happens with this. Am I happy? Am I sad? Well, Alexa and Nikki are really cool. But like we know that are they credible champions? Probably not, because Nikki does all the work, and then Alexa, just there like for
and also it doesn't look that good when because normally in a tag team, if you have one person do all the work, then the other person jobs. They're the one who eats all the offense. But Nikki Cross does both.
Yes, yeah, Alexa pretty much hits like a little bit the little offense that she has. Because we gotta be honest here. She doesn't even hit, a back body drop. She doesn't hit a suplex,
When I was playing the game, she was doing a suplex and stuff, and I'm like, can she do that?
Have we ever seen her doing that? So, it is what it is. But, family, that's what it was. You know, it was a pretty, I would say, average show.
Yeah,
Average
yeah,
going down.
it was decent. Like we said, there was good
Average
stuff.
going down.
Good
So,
stuff with the IC championship. Good stuff with Jeff Hardy. Even this main event was good. The Bayley and Sasha storyline is there. I liked Sonya Deville's character progression. So there's some good stuff on SmackDown, but then just everything else that surrounds it is like,
It's a little bullshit. So I agree with you, Jean Paul. So like this wraps it up for you, family. Thank you so very much for watching it. And tomorrow is the weekend, so you know what the weekends always brings. It brings good stuff. So Jean Paul and I are going to be here for you guys. I think we're going to even have like previews and predictions for NXT Takeover in your house. And of course, Sunday night we're going to be right there once the pay-per-view is over. Jean Paul and this guy will be talking about NXT Takeover. So Jean Paul, where they can find us on the social media world.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube right here on the original Rope Break. And then you can also find us on Twitter at the OG Rope Break.
That's what it is. So, Jean Paul, I think you and me have one more thing that is left to say. And that is...